All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. Stranger Things season 5, almost a 4-year wait, but we finally got the first 4 episodes of the final season. And we're gonna talk about it. We got a lot to talk about. I'm joined by my boy RJ.
What's good? What's good?
What's up? We're just gonna break down everything from these first 4 episodes, our thoughts, what we liked, what we didn't like, where we think it's going. And yeah, it should be fun. Let's just get to our overall thoughts. I could start out.
Yeah,
Um, I think I really enjoyed it so far. I really like what we got so far. I think it has the heart and the kind of groundedness of season 1, but also the intensity and production of season 4. And you could definitely see that merger with this season, which I think was exactly what you needed to do for this season. It just feels like an event. Like the show, it just feels like an event. I mean, Netflix crashed twice.
yeah.
Did you have an issue with it when did?
It was
Because I
slight.
did.
It was like slightly. Like it was basically when I loaded it up, it did that because I was watching it with our good friend Gian.
Mhm.
It it did like the thing like, oh, we can't load this title right now, and I just like refreshed it, and then it was fine. But it
Yeah,
wasn't like a big issue like until.
for me, it's like 10 minutes. I had to like keep refreshing on the TV because it would keep playing the first episode of the whole show, and it wouldn't let me go out of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was driving me crazy, but finally got it. But that just shows the level of this TV show. I don't think any other TV show has reached this level of hype or cinematicness
yeah,
of it all.
for sure.
Um, I think I think at the end of the first episode, it has all gas on all gas and it keeps
Yeah, no,
going
no
from there
breaks.
on out, which I love. It
Yeah,
really needed to. It doesn't after that. There's like no slowness. There's no pause. It keeps going, which is great. It's very much more personal this
hmm
time around, which makes it more intense. I think there's some great new characters this season, some that
oh
I'm
yeah,
really surprised that I enjoyed. But the Duffers do that great. They always bring in these characters and they're awesome. Like right away. I think they do it better than any other show bringing in new characters because they always seem like they've been there for longer than they have. And that continues this season. Of course, the 80s-ness of it all is great. The music, the production,
hmm
the costumes, everything, the dialogue. Um, and I think some of the flaws, which we'll get into if I had it overall, I think there's some cringe moments,
yeah,
especially, especially very early on.
yeah.
Uh, there's some silliness also, which I think sometimes doesn't work. And I think there's a lack of death already.
We'll
And
get to that. Yeah, we'll
we'll
get.
get to it for sure. And then yeah, we'll get into all this. I think the time jump was a little bit too much, and I'll get into why. But yeah, what are your overall thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I love, like you said, it was all gas, no breaks. I love how when we start the episode, like we saw in like when they released the first 5 minutes, but like what happened when he was first got
Yeah,
taken. Um, but most importantly, like I love how most of the characters are not messing around. Like they're thinking like Vecna is still alive, which he is, and Hopper especially. There was a moment in episode 1 where Jonathan's like, "Oh, I think I can." I forgot what he was
yeah,
like the
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 wheel
wheel,
thing in the car. Yeah,
and Hopper's like, "You better not think. You better know, right? Because I'm not coming back." I was like,
yeah,
"Dude, this is what I've been wanting." I love some of the new additions. Derek, it surprised me because I thought he was going to be like, based on the character description, I thought like he was going to be like a little shit, but which he kind of is, but he is hilarious.
yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get to like episode 4 because he has
Mhm.
like, I think he steals episode 4, and like there are certain things that he does in that episode that's hilarious. But the standout characters for me were Mike. Out of the kids, it was Mike. I love that we've been missing this for like the past 2 seasons, but he's the leader of the party, and he was calling the shots, and he was like, okay. like we're doing this, doing that, and then I love the forest scene with like him and the him, Will, Lucas, and Dustin. How
Yeah.
and then like it pans to Dustin, and he's like, I want to see like Vecna's. I think he said head or heart on a platter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, look, there we go.
Mhm.
Um, I my favorite part of the first four was Hopper and 11 in the Upside Down. I really enjoyed it, and just seeing like how Hopper really kind of like opens up to Elle about like why he doesn't want to like why he's so protective of her and he doesn't like let her risk her life even further. And it flashes back to how Hopper lost his own daughter and stuff, and it just further like implements how Hopper sees Elle like as his own. So I thought that was really sweet, and it was a good emotional scene with those two. Um, but I thought Will surprised me. I thought he killed it, and I got to give credit to Noah Snap because he did a pretty good job in some scenes. I'm not like the biggest Will fan. I mean, you're not either. But he surprised me. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm enjoying this. Um, I love Lucas. This first batch, he's been kind of like a up and down character sometimes. Like season 1, he was a little bit like annoying, and then season 2 he was good. Season 3 he was good. And then season 4, I don't know what they were doing with him, but I'm enjoying him. I love the scene where he stands up to the bullies that are messing with Dustin. But I do want a little bit more Joyce and Hopper stuff
Yeah.
because I love that scene where he's like, "You look more beautiful every day," and then like he just leaves. Um, but that was really really good. But yeah, I overall enjoyed it. Have some issues that kind of brought down my rating because it was an 8 and a 9 at first, but those last 10 minutes, I don't know. We'll talk about it. But
Okay. Okay. I'm
yeah,
interested to hear that. Well, we could just go episode by episode and then just break down what we think. So I think episode 1, The Crawl, like you mentioned, it starts out great. We
yeah,
saw the scene was released early with Will, the flashback.
yeah, yeah,
It's a great scene. And it just adds more layers to the whole show. And just teases that connection between Will and Vecna, which is a key part of this season. And I'm excited to see more. Um, and then we get into kind of this Robin's doing like this monologue on the radio,
I love
kind of
that part. That was so good.
yeah. Maya Hawke is amazing this
She's really
season.
good. I forgot to mention her. She was one of my standouts
I
too.
think she is my favorite of the season so far. Um, but yeah, she did a great job with a big dialogue. It was very long dialogue, where she did recaps everything. Now I have a problem with how long this time jump was. I think it's 18 months. I think it was too long because especially with this, the lack of mention of what happened with Eddie, besides with
Yeah,
Dustin,
yeah,
really kind of upset me because Dustin seems to be the only one that is like cares that he died. And Eddie didn't just die to die. No, he died to buy more time for Robin,
yeah,
Steve, and Nancy. Pretty much all of them, but directly the three of them. And you don't see Steve or Nancy mention Eddie at all.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah,
and you even have Steve like we'll get to him, but you have him kind of neglecting Dustin for like acting out, like which is I think very reasonable for him to be acting like this because not only did he lose one of his mentors, but nobody else seems to care,
yeah.
and
That's fair.
he's
I
getting his
kind
ass
of
kicked
see.
for it.
I do agree, but I do kind of see like what Steve, especially like what Mike and Lucas were saying to him, in like when we first see them in the school and they stop like the bullies from kicking his ass. Um, I do get that part where they're like, okay, I'm with you, but we got bigger problems right now to provoke some assholes. I do
Yeah,
see both sides of the argument. Now, Steve, I think the whole Steve and how they wrote Steve and Dustin's like conflict was a little bit half-assed in a way because it's like they imply that like Dustin hasn't he's been acting weird and stuff, with since Eddie's death, but it's a little like the way they did like Dustin and Steve wasn't. I get what they were going for, but in some ways it wasn't believable. I don't know how you felt about it because it was just kind of like arguing for the sake of arguing in some points.
Yeah. But that's why I think like the time jump, it just when you do 18 months later, it's like
That is a
I mean,
long time.
I do kind of get why other characters wouldn't care about or not care about, but not like be so upset about Eddie because it's 18 months. But then why do you like would Dustin even still be like this 18 months later? It's a bit of a I just think it's a bit too long and a lot of stuff happened in between.
Yeah, yeah,
And also like it kind of took away a little bit from the last scene of season 4 with them all looking at the the destruction and then they just say like I forgot what it was. They put something over it to make sure that it's locked in.
yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know. I would have liked to see more of like the destruction of Hawkins.
That's what I was kind of like. That was kind of my biggest worry with like going into the season. Like, okay, when you end a season like that, and then like you say, okay, it's 18 months later. Well, how did they get that to kind of like
Yeah.
like raise a lot of I think the biggest thing is that we still have a lot of questions regarding a lot of stuff.
Uh-huh. And like they try to wrap a lot of it up in that monologue with Robin, which I liked the idea of it, but I think it was like, wait, we're just okay, that's it? Oh, okay. And then
Yeah,
we move on. So the beginning I think was a little rushed. Um, but then once we get to the characters, you get more. The scene with Dustin and the and the bullies, the way it was shot where Lucas walks up,
yeah.
I don't know, it was a little Disney Channel, you know?
Where
Did you
he's
not feel that way? Like it's just the way it was shot, where you hear his name and he's walking up, and then Mike and Will come in. I'm like, what are these guys? What are they really
I
gonna
think
do?
okay. I think the way Mike and Will come in, I can kind of see what you mean by it's a little Disney Channel because like the way Mike's like mouth breathers, like oh god.
Yeah,
Lucas,
it,
I was kind of like hyped. I was like, let's go. Like,
I like the idea of it. I just think the execution was a little cringe.
don't know why Will was there, but
I don't know. Even Mike, I don't know what he
yeah,
really thinks he could do. I mean, if they're gonna fight, I'm taking that bully over any of them.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I think Lucas could drop all. To be fair,
Lucas maybe, but here's the thing: if you're gonna have a scene and shoot it like that, where Lucas is walking up, he's got to be bigger. I mean, he is a pretty big guy, but he's
the
got to be.
camera angle was kind of weird on him though.
It was like under him, and
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I like the idea, and I like that they're all their bond is still like they will
I love it.
fight
Yeah.
for one another. I love the idea of that, which is clear throughout the whole season. But I think the execution of that was
It was
whatever.
so funny to me, like how others are like, "All right, can you like stop provoking?" They go right back. They're like, "All right, Dustin, can you like we got bigger
Yeah,
phones?"
chill out. Like it's been 18 months. And, like that's what I'm saying. If this was earlier, then I would understand
Yeah,
more. But it's because it's 18 months. Like, well, are we still doing that?
yeah,
Um, but I guess you got to do that because it's how older they all look. But um, then I think we go into 11 training with Hopper and Joyce. I just love that Hopper and Joyce are mom and dad to
yeah.
11.
So good. They're so good.
And because I love season 4. Season 4 is probably my favorite. But the one thing that was missing, which makes sense for the story, was that father-daughter bond between Eleven and Hopper.
Hopper.
And
Yeah,
we get a whole bunch of that this part.
he is
Um,
not. He is not messing around. This
no.
first episode, like Hopper is not messing around. It.
And they really wrote it well because at first I was like, Hopper, you have to bring 11 down to the crawl with you. Like that's
Mhm.
more safe. But then when the dialogue about when he mentions his daughter and like he does not want that happening again,
This
then
is
you're like
here. Yeah,
you understand why she
yeah.
doesn't want her down there. And it makes sense. You're like, all right, you really cannot argue with that. So I like that. Um and then we move into this Steve Jonathan.
That was the worst part of the first batch of episodes, easily.
I agree. I think them the race up the whatever it was,
That was so ridiculous.
it's so out of character too.
Yeah,
Like I understand these. both of them like Nancy, but Steve for the past few seasons has kind of had he could control it, and he understood like she is with someone. So I'm not going to do anything crazy. And Jonathan, I don't know. They're continuing what the problems we had with him in season 4.
Yeah, I'm really hoping volume 2 kind of like there's a quick 180 because
Yes,
it's not looking good.
it's not because what I'm hoping now is just that Nancy doesn't end up with either of them because it's ridiculous, and she's got other stuff going on now, and she doesn't need these two at each other's heads and doing some dumb stuff.
Yeah, it was very. I was like, are we serious right now? Like, what are y'all doing? Like,
I think the problem is they gave Steve so much to do in season 4, and he was one of like the more main characters that season that like they don't really know what to do with him this season, so they
yeah.
have him beefing with Jonathan and Dustin.
You can tell. You can kind of tell, like with some characters, they don't know what to do with, so they kind of like give them like a stupid storyline.
Yeah, for sure. And like, but Jonathan though hasn't had anything to do since like season 2, and
Yeah,
like they really don't know what to do with him,
yeah,
and it sucks because he was a good character in the beginning,
yeah. He's
but
really good.
now he's just annoying. Like he is. And I think like later when he has the wedding ring for Nancy, I was like, where did that come from? When Murray gave him the music tape and there was a ring in there.
That's another thing. I wanted more Murray in this part, but gone. Yeah,
I agree. Lack of Murray. What we got was great, but there's a lack of Murray who's awesome.
yeah.
But I don't know. The thing with Jonathan, you want to propose? Like you guys are not even in. Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because like they were last season, they were like conflicted on like seeing each other, like who's gonna come to who and stuff.
Yeah. And even the beginning of this season, it's still like awkward with them. They don't seem.
They don't seem like a couple.
No, they don't at all.
Yeah, it was weird. I do.
I don't know. I don't love that whole the love triangle. It's too out of character. It's too silly. It's very cringe. The scene didn't even look good when they're climbing up there. You could tell
you could tell CGI. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the production was the CGI and special effects were mostly really good this part.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was very noticeable.
I want to pick your brain for a second. So, did you feel like this batch of at least just these batch of episodes was as cinematic as season 4? Because I felt like season 4 is still more cinematic.
I think it's a little hard to determine that since we don't have the full season.
Yeah,
I think if you compare the first 4 of this to the first 4 of 4, I'm still preferring the first 4 to season 4. Because I think that 4 and 5, I think you could really put together because 4 totally changed the vibe and the tone of the show for the better. And I don't think 5 for me will beat 4. I think 4 will always be my favorite just because that was like a game changer of a season, and it's a very nostalgic season for me. I remember watching with you guys. So I love season 4. Hopefully season 5 could be better, but I don't know if they could do that. Especially when you have an episode like 4-4 with the Max running up that hill, like that's hard to beat. That's hard to beat. The end of 4 in this season was pretty good, but I don't know if it'll beat that.
Dear Billy was really good.
Dear Billy is for sure the best episode of the show.
Yeah.
But then the crawl, I love how everyone's working together. I love how everyone's finally in the same room.
Yes.
Like that's awesome to see. Everyone's just using their own strategies and their own personalities, and it works. I love the whole thing where Robin plays Upside Down by Diana Ross.
I love that. Yeah,
everybody starts writing it down. That was very clever. It was very clever.
Hopper's like, I'm sorry, I was distracted by Diana Ross.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was awesome. I love the whole crawl process. I think that was great. And then the way the episode ends with the Demogorgon going to the Wheeler's house.
Yeah.
What a sequence.
Yeah, it was really good. and I think who saw it? Yeah, Will saw it, and he was like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh
And then
yeah,
he looks at Nancy. You're like, oh shit.
yeah,
Um, because now it's personal. Now it's personal with the Wheelers. Um, even though like his Vecna's motive at that point wasn't revealed, it just felt so personal that he's going after her family. I just assumed because Nancy fucked him up so bad in season
yeah,
4 that
yeah.
he's going
He's
after.
like, you know what? He's like, you know what, motherfucker. All
Yeah.
right.
So I love that. And then go into episode 2, which might be one of the best cold opens of the
Yes.
whole show.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think
I
of the
agree. It was very intense, and it was
Yes.
and I do have a problem with it afterwards, but like we'll
Yeah.
get to it. I was really scared for Holly, Karen. I mean, Ted, I don't care about, but but I gotta give it to him. He did say, like, get out of my house. Like, but Karen went out like that is definitely now we know where Mike and Nancy get the heart.
Get it,
It's from Karen. They get it from Karen because she said, "Get away from my dog. Let's go." And she was drunk. Gotta give her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was intense. And then it's cutting to like Elle and Nancy in the car driving, trying to get there and stuff. And then Mike was like, be careful. That was intense. That was very like I was scared for
Yes.
but of course the Duffers don't kill anybody.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching this opening scene. My jaw was on the floor the whole time. It was
Yeah.
a crazy sequence. The way the Demogorgon just goes through to Holly's room first, and he's dragging her, and she runs out, goes
Yeah.
to Karen's bathroom, and they get in the tub. It was
Yeah.
so intense. You got Fernando playing by ABBA. It was so like eerie, and then you got Ted with the golf club going up, and I'm like, you're so dead, bro. You are so dead. But yeah, and then I mean Karen Wheeler, like her best scene of the show. I think she's honestly one of the best characters of the season so far because of that scene.
Because of that scene, yeah.
She was drunk. She's seeing a monster for the first time ever.
And she's like,
and she breaks it and starts stabbing it. I was worried that she was actually gonna kill the Demogorgon, which I would have been like, that's ridiculous.
yeah.
But when Nancy and Elle come in, and you see that look on her face, and they turn to Mrs. Wheeler bloodied up.
Yeah, and barely speaking, and she was about to die.
Yeah, about to die, and Ted getting thrown across the room, and then Holly's taken. It was just an insane scene. It might be my favorite scene of the first part. It was an insane.
The way it was filmed and edited, it was really good.
It was great. It was very well done. But then you're right. Unfortunately, somehow they are not dead.
Yeah, they. I said this to some of our friends. I think they missed a big opportunity in with like Nancy and Mike's character arcs going into the season. Imagine like if how like every season Mike and his mom have like a really like a good heartwarming scene together. Mm-hmm. Especially like in the first two when like Will was and she was really there for him when like Will was missing. Imagine like a scene of like Karen and Mike, and it's just like a regular like heartwarming scene with the two of them. And she dies in this episode. She dies in the scene, and her last words to Nancy like are take care of Mike and Holly and something. And then like that's what I would have done with this first. I
agree.
I think this missed opportunity in my opinion.
I feel like the only reason they kept her around is so she could tell them that the imaginary friend that Holly was seeing was Vecna, which I thought was already pretty obvious.
Yeah.
That was gonna be him. But yeah, I think they should have died, and it's really ridiculous that they're still breathing.
Especially Karen, like she like mauled like in her
throat, like jeez. And it also it would have raised a totally Now it's already intense, but like I'm starting to feel like nobody's really gonna die now.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of my negatives after watching this volume. I was like, and it goes into like how the season ends because I feel what they do, but I don't feel like a lot of characters are gonna. I don't feel like anybody's gonna die, and I feel
Yeah.
like you gotta have you. I feel like you have to show that Vecna is not playing around, which he isn't. I mean, but you're kind of like going half-ass when you don't kill off somebody.
Yeah. Like if you're scared to kill Karen and Ted, who are pretty much side characters, why would they want to kill any of the main?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a missed opportunity for sure. It would have raised another level of intensity if they were dead. It would have been great for Nancy and Mike um, moving forward. But yeah, a great scene overall. But the fact that they didn't die, it's ridiculous.
I was
It is just
like, come on.
ridiculous. Like, come on, just, at least one of them. I mean, I guess one of them still could, but
I mean, Ted is more. If you had to like place a bet, Ted would be more likely to survive than.
yeah,
But
in terms of what happened to them, but also he is not as important,
yeah,
so they might just do him instead. Um, but yeah, I think for sure they should have died. And then you have 11 going into the Upside Down with Hopper, um, which I like, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I would have dragged it across 4 episodes of them being in the Upside Down
really, okay,
because here's another problem I have with this season, and it's minor. It didn't take away anything. There's no main character. Everybody feels equally supporting, which makes sense in an ensemble. But even with that, like season 4, in each subplot in season 4, in each different location, it felt like there was one main character within all. Hawkins, you had Max. Russia was Hopper. Eleven's, of course, was 11, and then California is a little different, but I'd still say Mike. Um, this I feel like 11 and Hopper they have their own storyline, and it's great what we get. I love the father's daughter bonding with them. I love
yeah,
the chemistry they have. The action with them is incredible,
yeah,
but it does feel like they are sidelined. And I think those are the two main characters of the show. If I had to pull out two,
yeah, yeah.
and
They are, they
kind
are.
of they are kind of outside of the main stuff going on. So that's why I think they were in there for 3 episodes. I think I would have done it to 2, and then episode 4 they're out. And I don't know exactly what they would have done. Maybe we'll see in episode 5 what could have been in 4. But anyway, for the positives of that, I loved the action in the Hopper and 11 stuff with Hopper throwing the grenades over that
Yeah,
whole
he was smiling.
action
He was like, "Let's go."
with the billboard was awesome because when you take away 11 there, it feels like anything could happen because it's just Hopper 1v like fiving these
Dude,
soldiers.
he's so badass in this part. He is so badass.
Yeah, I love the outfit. I love how he looks. I
Mhm.
wasn't sold on how he looks from the trailers, but I like it. It fits. It fits, and he's badass. And I love their chemistry, with each other, their lines with each other.
Yeah, they have
I
great.
just I would have cutting it down a little bit because I want to see more Hopper interact with, like you said, with Joyce and the kid and the other kids, and 11 interact with like we
He
have
doesn't
one.
interact enough with like the main party kids, other than
Yeah,
like, just 11, and he just interacts with like 11 and Joyce a lot, which is I get it, but like he does need. I want him to like be with like that scene with Jonathan. Where he's like, you better like not think, you better know. Like I want it.
yeah.
Okay, let's get
Mhm.
more of
Like,
that.
especially in episode 4 when Steve and that group is in the Upside Down. Like, they could have at least met up.
I wanted that. I hope they.
Yeah,
I still think they
they
will.
might still, yeah. But to break into that lab, I think would have been cool if they were all had a part in that. 'Cause especially in that 4th episode, they're in the beginning, the Nancy, Dustin, Steve, Jonathan, but then they're gone for the rest of it. You don't see them at all.
Yeah,
So I maybe would have put them together in that storyline just because we got so much 11 and Hopper. I think I want more going forward of 11 and everyone else and Hopper and everyone else.
Like, give me like Hopper with like Steve and Jonathan, or like Hopper with like the main kids, the original 4 with like from season 1. Give me that.
Like, have Hopper settle this beef between Steve and Jonathan. Have him like
That
put
needs
them in their place. Like, this is ridiculous. Have that happen. That would be awesome. But yeah, but the action this season is great. It is great. You can tell they're using their budget, their huge budget, very well, with the production design, with the action, the special effects. But anyway, then we get some new great character interactions with Joyce, Will, or Robin. Those 3 are kind of paired up, which I loved.
Yeah, I loved it. I didn't think I would like it, but I was like, okay, I'm digging this. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially Will and Robin. I think Robin this season, she is the MVP. I think she really is. I think not only is she, I think the funniest also this season. She has some great lines, just some great delivery. But she's the one that like gave Will his confidence and made Will like a great character again.
Yeah.
Like she was like, your mom's plan sucks. Let's go with your plan. And it ended up working out. So I love seeing that dynamic with them. And of course with Joyce, Robin and Joyce, I like that too. But yeah, what do you think of that?
I thought it was funny when like Will's like, "Mom, your plan sucked," and she's like, "Yeah, where'd you get the balls to say all that stuff?" Like she had that reaction, like, "You're telling me this, okay?" But I liked how Robin was telling, Will, like her, like when she was, finding out that she was, yeah. But but I thought that was a very sweet moment where she's like helping Will like kind of like find himself in a way and give him confidence as a human being. That's been kind of like what's been missing from Will, being his own person, and kind of like growing up, and his childhood was kind of robbed in a way. But I love the pairing between Robin and Will and helping him like open up more, and I love how like Robin can like kind of like see that like Will is like gay and stuff. She could like just see it, like and she's like, okay, like I'm gonna like try to help him and stuff like that. And I thought that was very sweet. They had some very sweet scenes together, and I do agree that Robin is arguably like the best character in like part 1. She is really good, and I think she's a scene stealer too.
For sure. I think it's great seeing her and Steve together, but this is the first season where you kind of separate her from that group, and it just makes her character even better because you see these different interactions. You see her as the mentor to Will, like what we just talked about. Yeah. That scene in the tunnel with the 2 of them was great. And that was the reason why Will did what he did in the finale or the mid-season finale, was because of Robin. But another great character duo, which took really 5 seasons for me to really realize that they are siblings, Mike and Nancy.
Yes. Like, that was a great. I love
they were finally talking to each other.
Yes, yeah. I love their little side quests.
Yes, much needed. I loved what we got with them in the hospital. Them just like doing like them dressing up in the hospital gown and her dressing up as a nurse. It was just great seeing them work together and laugh together and cry together, just them actually feel like siblings.
Yeah.
Because especially with what just happened, that's what should be happening between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then of course we see Lucas still by Max's bedside. Just very, very upsetting. I think with Lucas, I like what we got, but I want to lean a little bit more into why we know why he's on this redemption arc for or the revenge arc against Vecna because of Max. I want to see a little bit more edge to him. He kind of seems very stable, He
does, yeah.
I want to see a little bit him more on edge. He's getting himself in the risky situations, which is good, but I want to see a little bit more edge to him. But I like what we got.
I kind of want to say for him and Mike too, because Mike is like his reaction to like Karen and like Ted, he's just kind of like standing there, like he kind of like I hope that this is like true. There's a room like he's supposed to like have a breakdown scene in later. I don't know, but I kind of hope that he opens up and like he kind of like breaks in a way
I
emotionally.
agree. It was I did see that too. I didn't know if it was more the writing or just Finn Wolfhard not acting as hard as he should have been there for that scene. Um, but yeah, Nancy was carrying the emotion for both of them, I guess.
Because like this scene where she's like trying to wash the blood off her, like she's like
Yeah.
just getting soap and like she's trying to wash it off and she can't. Like
Yeah, and that was tough. That was tough. But early in the first episode, I forgot to mention I love the scene between Mike and Holly at the school
yes, dude, it's so good. That's one of my
when
main reasons why he's the MVP. He's one of my favorites. And
yeah, because it's like this is they understand. And I love the idea of bringing in younger kids in this season because it not only is it more like season one, but you see how the kids that we've known who are now pretty much adults protect the kids because they know what to do.
yeah,
And that's such a cool evolution. And
yeah,
it's
for sure.
so well
They're the main part is becoming what Steve was to them in the
yes,
first
exactly.
three seasons.
Joyce, not yeah.
With Steve, Joyce,
Exactly.
Hopper, Nancy, and all them. Yeah, Jonathan. And
They're
stuff.
they're the protectors. Like we'll get to it, but in the last episode when Mike is
Oh
leading
yeah,
all
get
them,
behind.
he's eyes on me. I love that.
Yeah,
That was
me too.
awesome. That was my
Yeah,
favorite. And all the chaos, Mike is staying calm and leading these kids because he's been through this. They've all been through this. So that is just awesome to see, and I love that payoff, and I love seeing Mike as a leader again.
me
Um,
too.
because these last two seasons have been ridiculous what they've done with Mike, which is making him a dumbass and
Yeah,
making him just making him kind of annoying, in my
yeah,
opinion, at least.
yeah,
But this season he's he's more grounded. He's the leader. He assigns people the roles. Like this is what we want from
yeah.
Mike. And I love it. I love it. I
That was.
absolutely
I never thought I would get hyped over someone being like a leader. He's like, get behind me, eyes
yeah,
on
yeah.
me, get
I
behind me,
love
right? Get
that.
behind me. I
It
loved
gave
it.
me chills. It gave me
Yeah,
chills. It's like if you
I
remember
was like,
season one,
let's fucking go, Mike.
yes, like this is Mike. This is the Mike we
Yeah,
remember. Um, but yeah, and also Holly, I want to give her actress some love. I think she's a
he was
great
great.
actress.
Yeah,
Her, oh, she had a lot of stuff to do,
her
and
facial
for
emotion was really good.
yes, for a very young age too, she is actually killing it, and she's kind of carrying her own plot line right now.
Yeah,
And it's working. Um, but then yeah, what else happens in episode 2? Um, how's it end?
saying so much, bro. Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
much.
it was so much stuff happened. Um, but anyway, I think it ends with I think with Holly in the Creel house in Vecna's mind with Vecna dressed up as like a
That was
normal,
very trippy, very trippy.
very creepy scene, very eerie. With Mr. Sandman playing at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very creepy. Um, and I do even though Karen's alive, which I don't like, I like the scene where she spelled out Henry to
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Even though I knew it was obvious that was gonna be Henry, that was still a cool scene. The way they cut it together. Because the editing in the show is awesome. They great editors behind the show.
yeah.
But then episode 3, which I think is a great episode also. The Turnbow Trap. Um, let's see. Frank, what's his name's episode?
Darabont,
Frank Darabont's episode, which
legend.
yeah, I think he's directing one more after this. I think he directed the hell out of this episode. That's where we get this Hopper action scene with the grenades, which was a great scene, like I mentioned. But yeah, episode 3. This is where we meet Derek, or really get to know Derek and his family.
First off, I gotta say, I'm glad that this child actor is having like the time of his life because they were showing like
Yes.
some video of him at the premiere and he was like enjoying himself.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love seeing like kids like just like when they get like in the limelight of like a show or stuff. But that was like very heartwarming to me. But he is so funny
The
in
scene
this.
stealer.
He's a scene stealer. I thought he would be like just like based on the character description. I thought he would be an annoying bully, like the typical like bully kid, and he was hilarious.
He is funny, man.
Yeah,
He is funny. He's got some funny ass lines, and he's
yeah,
a good presence on the show. Which I agree. I did not expect that at all. From like looking at him, from the descriptions of him, I was like, oh god. But no,
yeah,
I looked forward to his scenes. Um, I think the scenes with Holly and Vecna, I wanted a little bit more from Vecna from it. I know
yeah.
he's kind of playing like a role, but I wanted more of him in it because I think that he's just an incredible actor and
Oh, he
um,
doesn't get enough credit for what he as Vecna. He is
yeah,
so good.
yeah. Um, and then of course we get more Robin, Will, and um, and Joyce. I love the scene with Joyce and Will, like you were talking about earlier. How Will kind of stands up for himself, and Joyce. It's not an argument between the two. Joyce, she understands, but she's
Yeah,
also like, "I am your mother."
now your mother.
So if you're gonna do this stuff, if you're gonna go against me, you're gonna at least tell me.
Yeah,
You're gonna tell me what's happening. You're not gonna lie to me anymore, and Will understands. And I think that was a very well
yeah,
written scene.
insane. Yeah,
And then we see more of the group interact together again. I think like with Steve, Jonathan, Nancy, Mike, Lucas, they're all together for a little bit. And
I
Murray's
love
there.
that Mike and Lucas are like together, like the
Yeah,
duo again, because that was season one original duo. Yeah,
yeah. And then we got Murray with them too. We need more Murray for sure. He's kind of just dropping stuff off. Um,
he did have one funny line where he's like, "Oh shit!" Like how he just. I think it was episode 4. He's like, "Oh shit."
yeah. No, I love seeing him interact with these different characters, so like Steve and Jonathan and
Yeah,
the younger kids. That's cool to
he
see. But we
yelled
need
at Dustin. That was hilarious.
yes. Yeah, that's great. And then we see Dustin and Steve. They're not getting along anymore, which we'll have to see the execution of that. But it's not what I want to see between the two of them.
I agree. Yeah,
It's part of the highlights of the show is seeing them just be each other's best friends and the mentor, the brother figures, and they're just arguing. I don't know. I hope it has a good payoff. It probably will. Um,
they're gonna have an emotional. From the trailers, they're gonna have an emotional scene. Dustin's
yeah, because we see the scene in the trailer with them hugging, which we haven't seen yet.
I think that'll
So
definitely be like the next part 2 for sure.
yeah, for sure. And then we have the pie scene, with Erica going in to
Oh
drug
yeah. The price. Yeah.
drug the Turnbow family, which was really funny. Really funny, I think.
Eat your damn pie.
Yeah, she's got the one-liners, man. I think they know.
Yes.
I was worried she was gonna have too big of a part this season, but no, they know exactly what to do with her and when to use her, and I think that was definitely a perfect scene. And that whole sequence, I think, was great. With the booby traps in the house, with
Yeah,
trapping the
that was a
Demogorgon.
good sequence. Good
Mhm.
sequence.
It was very Home Alone
Yeah.
vibes. It was really cool and
Lucas
clever.
running.
Yeah. It was another season 1. Another season 1 like vibe to it.
Yep.
Seeing all those guys work together.
Yeah,
Um,
I enjoyed
I
that.
love I love the scene where Steve driving with all of them in the car and he's going through the backyards to find the Demogorgon.
Jonathan was like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Oh, when he go through the upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
It was
like
before that, and John like he's asking like before he starts driving, and Steve's like asking like, so a beep. I forgot what he was saying, but
it's like a
John,
peanut butter something.
yeah, and Jonathan's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
That
Like,
was funny. See, that's like the good banter that they should have. It's like not about Nancy, about like how they just
yeah,
go about things.
how to go
You
about
know,
things. They're very
like
different.
yeah, that like that
Like
that was a
where he's
funny line.
like, "Hey, Buys, you need a blanket back there?" Like
Yeah, uh-huh.
that's what I like with them too.
That's funny. And I love how Nancy was like, do it, and Dustin and Jonathan were just freaking out, and
Yeah,
Steve is
because
driving in. That was
Nancy's like, you know what? Screw this. Let's go after the
yeah,
prize.
I know. That's why I think if you're gonna put them Nancy was one of them. I think Nancy and Steve are more on similar wavelengths with how they
how they
go about
deal with things, how they go about
how they
things.
go
Yeah,
about dealing with things.
for
They're
sure.
very head on. They're very fearless. They're fearless. And Jonathan,
They go to the problem, and Jonathan's like,
yes,
let's think first.
yes, exactly. Um, but yeah, that whole sequence, and then I think it goes into episode 4. Oh no, episode 3 ends with the reveal that Max is wherever Holly is,
That
and that was
that was confusing when I first watched it. I was like,
yeah.
huh? Like
I was I was happy. I was shocked. I didn't understand.
because so how I interpreted it at first is that Vecna kind of took Max, like her coma self, like it's supposed to represent that like Max in the upside down is like because she almost died, that herself, like her inner self and her soul is kind of like stuck with Vecna in the upside down. And like when she was talking about how like she could have escaped, and like the music kind of helps, like if she like left and she like ran through it, she wakes up. That's how I interpreted it.
yeah. Well, no, we learn later. At first, I have no clue what was happening. I wasn't even totally sure where Holly was. I didn't know if that was the upside down. I didn't know if that was in Vecna's head. I didn't know if it was in her head. But what we learn in the next episode is that they're in a memory. They're in one of Vecna's or Henry's memories.
Memory, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but we'll get into that. I have a few issues with how they handled the Max part of that later. But that was a shocking ending. I think it was a great way to end an episode because I was
Yeah,
like, what? I did not see that. And I'm glad that Sadie Sink is in it earlier rather than later because
I agree.
she's too good of an actress to sideline. And
Yeah.
I think you could feel her
Missing, yeah,
missing in the first two for sure. There's like where Max, we need Max.
yeah.
Lucas even says that. He's like, we need you. We
I
need
need
you
you.
here. Yeah. So I'm glad she's back. Then episode 4 picks up with them all. They were like in a barn, I think, with Derek and
Suck my fat one.
my fa- and
Robin's like,
the way
Jesus.
Robin goes, oh, Jesus, that's so funny. That was so funny because it is so out of pocket, but it's hilarious the way they all.
He
And then
shoved
yeah,
Joyce. It's like, bro.
um, and then the Demogorgon comes in, and Joyce, she doesn't give a fuck. She pulls out that axe. She's
Yeah,
swinging at it. She's
yeah,
swinging as she's going. That was awesome. And
yeah.
but like the Demogorgon, why is he scared of that? I don't.
Yeah,
Does it
that's
say
a
that?
bit, I don't know, like what's going on with that. I don't.
Like I like these moments. The same with Karen. How when she was swinging, he was like backing up a little bit. But
Like,
like
all
why?
right, all right,
Why?
yeah,
Um, and then Steve hits the Demogorgon with the car, which was awesome. And then they go into the upside down, which was a great sequence. And then Max or Mike and Lucas meet up with Joyce and Hopper, or Joyce and Will and Robin and Derek and
yeah.
Erica. And they get their own plan going. And then we learn more. Then we get more scenes with Max and Holly. And Max explains that like she died for a second and then she was brought back, but she was in Vecna's head. I don't really totally get it.
I
If
don't
I
either.
mean, I don't like. I don't think it was a great explanation yet why she's in Vecna's head
Yeah,
because she did die for a little bit, but 11 brought her back.
yeah, and now
So
she's in a coma. So I don't,
yeah, and there's still scenes in the trailer with the Demodogs going after Max's body and Lucas holding her in the hospital.
yeah. So it's kind of like weird. I don't know.
I mean, if I had to theorize anything, it's that it would be that Vecna doesn't want Max in his head, and he doesn't understand why she's there.
Yeah,
So he has to actually kill her in the coma, or send the Demogorgon, the Demodogs to go kill her, so she gets out of there because she's messing stuff up.
I think they'll explain. I think Jamie Campbell Bower said something about like there's a reason why like Max and her like they're gonna pay off like season 4 between them two. So like their story, their arcs between each other are not over yet. So I think we'll see. They'll explain that in part 2. I think. I hope at least.
Yeah. And then this is the part I have a problem with Max. It was I like seeing the flashbacks with Henry in high school for a little bit, which you see Joyce younger and Harrington. You see Steve's dad. I'm assuming that is.
Yeah,
Because that kind of ties in the play, the
that
show.
girl sounded just. I don't know if that was a Nona Ryder, but if it
I think
wasn't,
it was because it
okay.
did sound exactly like her. I think they
Yeah.
maybe edited it a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a scene. Did you notice this? It was in the 3rd episode when the Demogorgon escapes the house and Mike says something into the radio and he like screams it and he sounded exactly like how he did as a kid. He was like, the
What?
Demogorgon's gone. The way he yelled it, he sounded exactly like how he did
I
as a
didn't
kid.
notice that. What? I didn't
Yeah.
notice that. No.
It was towards the end of episode 3 when they trap in the Demogorgon and he escapes and he's like, it's out, it's out. But he didn't say that, but he sounded just like he did as a kid. That's why I thought it was funny. But anyway, the thing with Max, so I liked seeing that she was kind of like where 11 was last season, where she had to relive Henry's past. But the part where she could have escaped and she didn't run.
Yeah.
She's just looking at the memory. And then she runs very weirdly. It was just shot, I think, really weird. And I think she could have really gotten out of it if that's how you're saying she could have. And just the fact that the music just ran out of tape, like that's the reason. I don't know.
It is a bit half-assed. Like that's why I was like, I hope you have a plan for this, because this is it is a jarring explanation. Like Max is in like Vecna's memories, or so I hope they have a plan that makes sense. Like,
yes,
I don't know.
But I do like her interacting with Holly and her giving Holly a plan of what to do. And we'll see what that is to get them both.
She wakes up though in the next episode.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be like, oh, she wakes up in like the finale, or the last episode of like part of volume 2. Like, no, I want her to wake up before. I want to see like Max with the crew for at least like 3 episodes.
I agree. And I think maybe after you have that sequence with Lucas getting her out of the hospital, that's when I
agree. I think that's when she'll wake up.
Yeah, I think they should, because we need more Max and Sadie Sink and interacting with everyone. And I hope she comes back with powers, if I'm being honest. I think
we'll get to that in a bit.
Because I think you have Vecna's main victims. I think she should be part of the killing of Vecna towards the end. But yeah, we'll get to that.
It'll be better than some other person, but yeah.
But then, then we see them all with the tunnels, them getting the kids out, which I love. I love that whole.
I love that sequence. I loved it.
Yes,
Derek hitting the kid. He's
Derek like you go over it. It was so fun. It was so fun. It was so like Stranger Things. Yeah, I don't know.
He steals that entire sequence. Right? It was funny when like they're laughing at him at first. He's like, "Monsters are coming, and you're all gonna die!" Ha ha ha.
And I love like how Joyce is like, "You're not dipshit, Derek. You're delightful, Derek."
Yeah.
And
didn't he say something? Didn't he say that he was like delightful, Derek?
Yeah, delightful, Derek. And he closes the lunchbox, and then he helps him sneaking them all out. I love that. I love how once again, I just love seeing the now older kids act like mentors to these younger kids. Like even like the small, subtle lines of like Robin like calling the girl like sweetheart, like come with me, and Lucas getting those 2 kids
let's go.
Yeah, let's go, buddy. Like I love that the small stuff. And Mike and Will trying to cover the water up, and he's like, "Are you looking for Mr.
So what's it that way? Right
over there?" Like that. It was funny. There was some great one. The dick lines.
Oh,
it's so immature, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
The way Robin's like, I like dick, and she's like, well, I don't even. Never mind.
And then Mike was like, "What?"
Yeah. And then later, it's like, let's hope it's not too hard. And Lucas
Oh
like,
yeah,
well,
Lucas said, "I'll soften it." It's like,
I'll say,
whoa!
what is going on? It
Like
was
what?
funny. It was
No,
funny. It
they
was
did
funny.
the Duffers did it on purpose. They're like, okay, what do kids like? They say, oh, AO to this. All right, there we go. We're right. This like,
Yeah, it was
it's
funny.
like
I was
I'll
like,
soften it. It's like what?
what is going on? Why are they talking like that? But it worked. It worked. It was funny. Um,
Sometimes it
then
doesn't work, but it did work. It did
it
work.
did work there. Yes, I agree. And then meanwhile, in the Upside Down, we see 11 and Hopper break into the lab, I guess it is.
Mhm.
Oh, and we haven't talked about her yet. Linda Hamilton,
She
Dr.
killed it.
K.
She was great.
She is awesome. Like
Yeah,
she has already has such
commanding.
a presence. She's tough. She's scary. She has her own motive, which I don't think we know fully what it is yet.
Yeah,
Um, because when she sees 11, she's not treating her like a threat. Like she's like,
I think they want to use 11 as a weapon.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
She's
Um,
like amazed by her because she was like
yeah,
11.
she's like, wow. She's like, I've been waiting to meet you.
She's a
Um,
fan.
yeah, she's a fan of 11. Yeah, so that was a very interesting scene. Then having
Mhm.
them fight and having Linda Hamilton kind of kick her ass.
Yeah, she threw it.
Yeah,
No, when
and
she was taunting her, she was like, "Oh, that won't work," and then
and
like,
with having Hopper getting choked out. Yeah,
yeah, that was I was like, "Oh boy," and then like when 11 stabbed her, I was like, "Okay, that was Hopper that taught you that." Like, she had
yeah.
to back like,
You didn't know how to do that before.
yeah,
Um, but I love that whole thing with Hopper getting choked out and Linda Hamilton like, "You better tell me or I'm gonna kill you." And Hopper, no hesitation, he's
go
like,
to hell.
"Go to hell. Go to hell." I love that. I love that
Yeah,
because that makes sense. He was just in a Russian prison for a
yeah,
year.
you ain't gonna break them.
He's not you're not nobody's scaring him at this point.
Yeah,
He's gone through hell and back, literally. Like nothing's gonna break him. So I love that. And a scene earlier I didn't mention, which I liked, was that interrogation scene with Hopper and that guy at 11 going in his head.
oh, dude, that was so good. That was
That
really good.
was so cool because like you see a lot of interrogation stuff in shows, but that was so different.
Hopper was like, "I
Um,
can't get stopped."
yeah, just tell me, yeah,
Yeah,
that was a great 11 Hopper scene. They're even though like we see these characters now for a lot, like they're doing different stuff with them and
hmm
exploring um different like interactions. So that's what I love. Um, and then like Hopper seems to almost sacrifice himself. Did you think he was gonna die there?
no, no. I didn't know what he was. He it was kind of weird how they filmed like what the dialogue like what he was like saying because he's like we got to get you out of here and like he was going because I think they thought Vecna was in there
Yeah,
and so I kind of thought his plan was stupid because like you have the one like if you thought Vecna was in there you have the one person that has a chance at fighting Vecna you would get destroyed like so
well, he was gonna blow himself up with Vecna.
yeah
Yeah,
it's just like I don't really think that I thought that plan would be so dumb.
I think if he was gonna sacrifice himself there, I think the dialogue before was really good, and that's why I thought he was going to die because it was a very intense
Yeah,
dialogue, and he's like, "I love you, Chain. I'm proud of who you are and what
that
you've overcome."
I did like that. It was just like what he was like. He was like how he was like, "We're gonna get you out of here," like, and then like I'm gonna. It was that part. I was like, "What is your plan? Like, you're gonna blow yourself up? Like, what? Like, how do you know that this is gonna work?" That's really what I was like saying.
I
Like,
really didn't think he was gonna die until he started like getting the flashbacks to his daughter. Then I was like,
he ain't
hmm,
dying.
maybe, yeah.
That was.
But
I did love the part where he's like, "I love you, Jane. I'm so proud of you," and stuff like that. I love that.
yeah, it was very sweet. I think I was tearing up a little bit because I did think maybe he was gonna die there. Um,
I would have
and
been pissed.
it maybe would have worked. It maybe would have worked. It just sucks because Hopper's been through so much. Like I don't want him to die because you put him through so much every season. Like let him live.
Yeah,
Um, but that was a good dialogue and it's great acting between the two of them. And I think 11 is also great this season with what
I
we
agree.
got. I think it's not enough though. I do think it's not enough 11. Um, I think
That's kind of like what my worry with how episode 4 ends. We'll get
I
to
see
it,
what
but
I see what
yeah,
you mean, but if I had to put any guesses into it, it's that the characters who didn't have a lot to do this part will have a lot to do the next, because that's usually
yeah.
how it goes.
Hmm.
Like Jonathan, maybe Steve, and 11, of course. Um, but yeah, I like what we got, but we need some more from 11. Um,
Yeah,
Especially because at the end of the day, it's her show. It is her show.
yeah.
Um, and then outside the Upside Down, we got Joyce, Will, and Mike and Derek. They're caught, and a few other kids. Uh,
That was so funny when Derek is like, "Listen, Mister, like I've seen what this is, and you guys." I think he said, "You guys ain't doing shit," like
yeah,
or something like that. And the guy like slaps him, and they all
and
in
they all
Mike.
start
He's like,
throwing
"Hey,"
it.
they're like, "What's no?
Yeah,
Don't hit him." I love that. I love
I
that.
love that too. It was funny, and I like that detail too. That when the guard hits him, they also start.
Like they don't
Uh,
even know this kid, but they're gonna protect him.
yeah, he's
I
one of
love
us
that.
now. You fuck off.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's one of us. Like delightful
yeah.
Derek.
Uh huh. Uh huh. And then we see that Will starts like spazzing out because something's comes. The Demogorgons are coming for them all, and enter one of the greatest sequences in Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That was.
mean, I don't know if you saw this, I'll have to send it to you. There's a whole behind the scenes of how they filmed that scene.
Mhm.
They built that whole entire set. It's like over 100 extras. There's like 50 deaths in like the
Jesus.
background. It's of course all the special effects.
That's the best one shot in the show. That's the
Yeah,
best one shot.
that one shot was insane. Not only because it looked good, but because, like what we mentioned before, the context was great of just Mike leading everyone.
Dude, he's like, eyes on me, eyes on me.
As
Everybody
only,
get behind me. Everybody get behind. I loved it.
yeah,
I loved that.
I could not get enough of that. I loved
I was
it, and
like, come
he,
on, keep saying some stuff, Mike. Let's go, Mike.
yeah, and not even that, he was picking up Will too. While he's at it too, and
Yeah.
follow him. Like I
He's like,
loved
stay
it.
close,
And
stay close.
the cherry on top of it was that it was just a cool oneer.
Yeah.
It was what? It was like over a minute for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and the background, there's so much detail, there's so much stuff going on. You got the Demogorgons jumping around.
Sullivan get on fire. Like,
Yeah. And then it's cutting with Lucas in the tunnel with the two kids and the Demogorgons down there with him, which was intense. You have Robin and Murray driving the truck with the kids in the back, which I
Murray
love.
was
I
so
love seeing those two interact.
he's like, oh shit. I don't know what it is, but I like it. I was
I
like,
love
what?
it.
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
he's laughing. I love seeing those two interact. But it was a totally intense scene where for a moment it felt like all of them were about to die.
Yeah, for a
Um,
moment, yeah. The
and
introduction to Vecna, though.
yeah, we'll get to that because this
Okay.
happens before where 11 opens the door and we see it's 8 from the worst episode of the show from season 2. She is brought back. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
Okay. Me and you especially, we did not want her to come back.
Mm-mm.
But I feel like the thing is you kind of they wrote themselves into a hole because in storytelling, you can't have a character like that and then not bring them back to some extent. To some extent.
I agree.
My only it my and it goes into my fears, but we'll get to it later. I just feel like they're risking taking away. I don't want to say this because like it goes to the ending, but she's not needed. She's not needed. Like why is she here? Like I don't. It's not earned. Her being here. Like
I
you
agree.
know what they're gonna do. You know what they're gonna do. They're gonna team up. I just feel like it's unearned.
I agree. I mean, that what they're doing well this season is they're answering all your questions and they're wrapping up a lot of stuff
Yeah.
from every season.
Yeah.
And this was like the biggest black sheep of the entire show.
Yeah.
with that whole episode.
Oh,
Nobody likes it. They've ignored it for not only has she not been in it, 11 hasn't even mentioned her
yeah.
for almost 3 seasons since.
I don't even think Hopper knows who she is.
Yeah, I don't think unless she told them about her off screen,
Yeah.
we don't even know if everyone else knows about her. So we'll have to see what they do with her. They're saying she plays a big part in it.
You know what that means?
I agree with you. I think it's on her. Like we don't care about her though. Like we have
I'm sorry. There's only if people saying like I saw this like on like some like Twitter and like Instagram or whatever. Some fans are like happy that she's back. Yeah, that's like a 2% chance. 2% of the fandom that wants her back. Like, come on, no one's really checking for 8.
And the only reason people wanted her back is so they could say there was no like plot lines that were just open.
Yeah.
People only wanted her back so they could close the plot. But instead, it seems they're making her going to be a crucial part.
Yeah.
I hope it's maybe what she has done already and not her actual presence or what she's capable of doing. But I don't know what they're going to do with her. I hope it's not big. If I was going to bring her back, I probably would have done this. And it's maybe a little early to say this because we don't know we could end up liking what they do with her. But I would have brought her back in a cold open to an episode. Vecna is hunting her down for some reason to make sure nobody can join this fight against him.
Yeah.
And he just kills her. And it's a good fight. Maybe they have a good action sequence. Maybe she sends some warning to 11 somehow. But Vecna ends up killing her and maybe gains some power from that.
I like that.
That's what I would have done if you had to bring her back.
I agree.
Because it's not earned to have her be a crucial part of the show when the audience doesn't care about her and she's only tied to one character.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to mention, it's been years.
Yep.
I bet most people didn't even know who that was before that flashback.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I hope it's more to do with Dr. K than with her, where she's, I don't know, something with Dr. K is like, I don't know.
Dr. K is definitely like, I think she's building an army. I think.
Yes. Yeah. And I think she's more of like a puppet than an actual character. Like maybe you could do that.
Yeah.
But it seemed like she's pretty, like she smiled when she saw 11. So it looks like she's not brainwashed.
The way they were like zooming in on her face when she sees 11 is kind of weird. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean it was weird. I don't know. I wasn't excited to see her. I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw her. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, why?
Yeah, but then after that, and it kind of seemed like the episode was going to end there, which would have sucked.
So glad it didn't. I am so glad it didn't.
I agree. Because then we get some awesome stuff, in my opinion, at least. And then we see Vecna walking out, which was
when it cuts to like Mike's face, and then like Mike's like, "Oh
dude,
shit!"
I love Joyce's face in that. The way she,
she's like, "You."
The way she looks up like that, and he's walking out. I love that. I had chills, man. I had chills when he walks out.
I was like, he's watching it like this. I was like, "Oh."
Yeah. And he's walking slowly, and he's taking these soldiers down with one hand. The way he takes the grenade pins out.
Oh, that was sick.
Throws them against a tank,
and
the guy's lit on fire. It was, oh my god, it was amazing.
The way he killed that one dude, the TVMA rating basically.
Yes.
He goes full on. I was like, God damn!
I was laughing, dude, because like, oh my god, that
was insane.
That was crazy. It was such like a quick cut too. You just see the guy's face, and then just it was insane. And then Joyce, I love how Joyce runs up to him, no fear, no hesitation, and he just throws her. He just throws her.
He just throws her. It's like whatever.
But it's more the fact that Joyce is just not scared of anything.
That's why he does it. Yeah. I think that's why he doesn't like kill like Joyce or Mike or anybody.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't kill anyone there. He just wants the kids for whatever his motive is, the younger kids.
Yeah.
Um,
He
but then
like
we see,
it was funny how like he just said what he said to Will and he just leaves.
yeah. At first, I was like, what? That's it. But then it made sense because he was taking the Demogorgons to kill them all. Um, even that, but then, um, Will locks in for a little bit.
Yeah.
We see Mike is about to get killed by Demogorgon. Lucas is about to get killed. Robin's about to get killed. Um, and then we see this quick flashback, which is like in a film reel, which is what Robin was talking about when she was talking to Will about how she found
Yeah.
footage of herself when she was a kid on film reel, and it made her realize who she is.
Yeah.
So great callback to that.
I like
And
that.
honestly, I am not a fan of Byler at all. That whole
Me
shit,
either.
Will
Me
and I don't mind that Will's gay. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
It's fine.
but those flashbacks with seeing Will and Mike, it made me cry. I did not because, and I didn't see it as because he loves him as a lover. No, it's because like he
They're
sees
good
him as
friends.
a best friend who will literally do anything for each other. Um, and that made me tear up from just seeing that. It was
Yeah.
just so real. Like when you like that's exactly how it goes when you're a kid. Like when you see someone on the playground, you just say, "You want to be my friend?" Yes, and that's how
Right.
it
Yeah.
starts.
That's how
So
it started.
simple.
Yeah.
It just brought me back to a lot of stuff, and that made me cry. And then the stuff with Jonathan and him building Castle Byers and him showing the drawings to
That was
Joyce.
sweet. I like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I think it was so very sweet, so sad, and also very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, of course, we see that Will has powers.
That's
Um,
sick.
that was a sick shot of the Demogorgon frozen, and Mike's like, and then you cut over to Will with his eyes, and he's got to control the Demogorgons, and he kills them all, like how Vecna killed the teens last season with their bone crunching. Um, that was awesome. It was I loved how it ended. I was cheering. I was excited for Will. Will got me hyped for the first time in the whole show. A
Yeah.
character who was probably my least favorite character out of all the main characters going into the season. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I was hyped and I was so excited. And having Robin's dialogue play over that, it was so satisfying. I love those last 20 minutes. I think it's some of the
The way
best
he
stuff.
wipes the blood too was
Yes,
bad. Yes.
it was great. I think it's some of the best stuff we got in Stranger Things. But
I
you
agree.
you have an issue with it?
I don't have an issue with him having powers.
Mhm.
I just have an issue with are we lowering the stakes when we have 3 people? Because my fear going into the rest of the season is the stakes are kind of being lowered with because I think like the unique thing about the show was 11 was really the only one with powers.
Yeah.
And that you feared with like you feared for the other characters because like they're just like us, like everyday people. Like they're just good with guns or with weapons or whatever.
Mhm.
And they could die at any moment. Like um I feel like with I have a fear that they're just gonna do 11 Will and unfortunate like 11 and Will. I don't mind that. Like I like Will having powers. At first I was a little 50-50 on it. Like I was hyped when I first watched it, but then I rewatched it. I was like, okay, this I like to see like how he found himself and stuff like that. But if you have 8, you bring 8 into the fold. That's
Yeah.
from like are we getting a little too much here? What are you trying to do like Iron Man, Thor, and Cap against Thanos and like Endgame? Like I don't know. Like I kind of just I hope it doesn't take away from 11. That's all I'm really. That's my
I agree.
fear.
And I share that concern, especially if 8 is there, which I hope they won't do. I honestly don't think they'll do that because like it's so unearned. And they have to
Yeah,
realize that. They have to realize that nobody really cares about this character, and there's not much you can do to make us care in a few episodes,
exactly.
especially when she is known for being in the worst episode of the show. that is her legacy right now.
Yeah. That is her legacy right now.
That is what she's known for. Nobody cares what she can
It's
do.
true. It's true.
Nobody cares what she can do. But I do agree with you that it might lose a little bit of what made the show work when 11's the only one with powers and everyone having to rely on her. I do get what you mean, and that they could lose that element. But I think it works with how they just structured this season around Will. How it made you see
I'm okay with Will having powers.
Yeah.
If they do it right. If they do it right.
It's like Will is the number one victim in this show. He deserves just as much as 11 to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I also honestly I do think if you give Max powers, which is what I think they also might be leading to, I think it also is it's earned because
he tried to kill her 3 times.
He is also a huge victim of Vecna, and she lost 18 months of her life because of him. And not to mention, her brother died because of him. And so she has also. So I think if you have those 3 like be the center of killing Vecna, I think it makes sense because they are the 3.
Just don't bring in 8. Just don't bring in 8
because it's not earned. That's not earned at all. We don't know any what has Vecna done to her. We don't know.
We don't know. Even if he has done something to her, we won't care because we don't care about the character.
Care about her.
Yeah.
Care about her. I'm not too worried because I would have to realize that the Duffer Brothers would realize that. Like nobody cares for her. I think it's more she's gonna be more of a plot device. I think she and when they're saying she has a big part, it's because I think like not necessarily her, but something she does, and that's it. She does something that impacts the rest of the show. Like maybe she gives 11 her powers because she has different powers in 11.
Yeah.
So I think it's something she could do to have an impact rather than her character having a big role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I hope they do.
I hope. I like the Duffers. I trust them with this show. This is their baby, but at the same time, they lean a lot on the fans. You know, they kind of let the fans dictate things a little way, in my opinion.
But the fans don't give a shit about her.
True, but they do. But they clearly do.
I don't know if they do because they ignored her for 3 straight years.
True.
So I think they were just like, oh, we gotta put her in some way. Let's have her do this.
True. I don't know. We'll see what they do.
One episode most, then she's killed at the end of it. That's all. That's the most you're gonna do.
Because they build so much on like L versus Vecna. Like I don't want it to get too crowded. That's I want it to stay to where it was at.
I agree. Yeah, and also I don't want to have 11 and 8 interacting over having 11 and Mike interact.
Thank you, because we didn't get enough of that either. We didn't get enough of
one scene.
Yeah, and not even just Elle and Mike, Elle and Max when she wakes up.
Yes.
Elle and Max, like
we haven't gotten that for 2 seasons now.
Get 8 out of here. I'm sorry, get her out of here. Get her out
immediately.
Oh my because we need to like pay off some character interactions because like I like the rooftop scene between Elle and Mike and how he's saying like like he basically was saying like in his D&D campaign way saying like I want to start a new life somewhere else. I thought it was very sweet, but like I don't want 8 to take away from scenes like that. Get her out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
And a scene with like 11 and the first episode with 11 running through the fields and Mike's happy to see her.
Yeah,
they run. It's like that. We need more Mike and 11.
Stranger Things has really good. The foundation of the show started between those two, their relationship. So we needed more like heartwarming scenes like that.
I agree. So here's hopefully 8 doesn't have a lot to do. And moving forward, I don't know what do we think is going to happen. Any top predictions?
I don't know. I mean, with you end it like that, I feel like a lot of our theories that because we talked all year leading up to this, I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of our theories are going to be wrong.
Oh,
Like, when you
we
end it,
thought Will was I mean, I guess Will. Do you think he's gonna be a spy? Because that was our top theory. That was a lot of people's. That
I think
Vecna's.
that's how you use his powers, him having powers in a way that doesn't take away from L's like moment
Mhm.
moments with powers. You have to use Will like being like having powers in a way because I'm pretty sure he can only use it to a certain extent. Not like 11. Like 11 could use it like whenever. Like he can only use it when he's like.
Well, even she gets trained.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
so I would
yeah.
imagine he has some restriction on his.
I think that they'll be. I don't know how long they're going to be in the Upside Down for, but I hope they cut like because there is a scene with like everybody's hugging at like a hospital. I think that we
Yeah,
haven't seen yet, and I think that that's when Max wakes up. In my opinion,
yeah, I could
it
see
kind of
that,
looks like
but I don't know why
Max.
Jonathan would be hugging her.
I don't know.
I think it's Will. I think it might be Will,
You think it's like a scene with him coming out or something like that?
maybe, or he could have gotten hurt and he wakes up or something, or he's a spy and he wakes up from it again. Because really looking into it, maybe this is what Vecna wants. He wants Will to reach this power, and that's why he just came out there, said that shit to him, and then left.
Yeah,
He wanted that part of Will to come out so he can use that.
he
Maybe,
has an infatuation for Will. Like he,
yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna lead towards that. He needed Will to reach that potential on his own because he couldn't make him do that. So
yeah,
he provoked him, put his friends in a situation, and then just left.
yeah,
Because he knew that was going to happen. So now he can get inside Will's body, take control of him
hmm
with those powers.
yeah,
So that's what could happen. So he still could be a
yeah.
spy.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that.
but I don't know what's gonna happen in these last two batches of episodes. Like
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be crazy. I am very excited. I'm still really excited to see that scene with Lucas and Max, and Lucas trying to get her out of the hospital.
yeah, because I think
That
he's
was
the only
one of
one
my
there.
most
Right?
exciting stuff to see.
Is is Max in the same hospital as Karen and Ted?
Yeah, I think so because Lucas went to see her when they all went. Yeah.
What? Okay, what if not only like Lucas is trying to get Max out, but what if like the Demogorgons are going after like Karen and Ted again? They have to get.
Yeah.
I would like that honestly. I don't think
That's
so, but
no, I like that because that would make sense. Because like, what about all the other people in the hospital, like the Demogorgon? Like, why? Yeah, I could see that.
like why wouldn't they go after them too? Like
I agree. Um, and I think like Vicky will probably be there because she works in the hospital. So Robin, that
oh yeah,
yeah. So maybe she could. You never know.
that'll be interesting. Yeah, that
Out for Robin because they're kind of setting that up where like Robin's like kind of she's calling off their dates because she has stuff to do, and then she ends up dying because
and
she
they've been like involving side characters like this is why this is happening like now Karen and Ted like really know what's going on and they're not oblivious to like their son being like out late or like
yeah,
going
and Nancy, yeah.
yeah Nancy as well so it'll be interesting. I think Dustin's gonna have a moment where he's opening up to Steve and he's crying.
Well, we see
And
that in the trailer, yeah.
yeah, I do think that there's something that in the trailer that we haven't there's a shot where Elle's talking to Mike and she's telling him that like this isn't like one of your
Yeah,
D&D
which
games.
like in front of the tub.
Yeah, so like
Yeah,
she has to like find somebody, we're assuming. So I think like she's still trying to find Holly.
there's also, I'll pull it up. There's a shot in the trailer, in the first trailer, actually, or no. Oh wait, also from the first trailer where Will's like, "Run, run!"
Oh
That
yeah, we
was
still haven't seen that. Yeah.
in that, and then there's another shot of Will. It's really quick. Here, I'm trying to find it. Of like Vecna doing like having his hand over him. Here, let me get it.
Oh, it's like they're in. It looks like they're in the upside down, and he's like trying to get out of there. I think I know what you're talking about.
You see it?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, he might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
Even with his powers. So, yeah. I don't know. We haven't seen that. There's still, but what I like from the trailers is most of the stuff we've already seen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot we have no. I mean, they'll probably do a trailer for this next part. I don't think they
Most
need
likely,
to,
but I think what they should do for like that final episode, no trailer, just do like a thing where it's like it's like an end game type trailer, and you don't get any shots for
mostly like flashbacks. Yeah,
flashbacks.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
No, I'm so excited to see that in the theater, especially now with how much we've already got. Like, imagine where it's going.
Yeah, I gotta watch that in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be insane. It's going to be insane. And look what we've already got. We've already got some insane stuff.
Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoy what we got so far. I honestly think it's only gonna get better. There's it took 3 years to make this. It can only be good. They can't cannot afford to not stick the landing. But yeah, so for the first 4, I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I had a fun time with it. Season 1 5, season 4 5, my 2 favorite season. Plus its own little vibe, and I love the characters for the most part. Love the action, love the special effects, love the character dynamics, love the ending. Yeah, 8.5. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. Only because of some issues here and there, and worries. But I think it'll all work out in the end. It'll go up if my worries are like depending on how part 2 and the final episode go. So,
yeah, but yeah, we're excited. We're excited for more. It's an event, like I said. This is an event. Feels like a big cinematic movie. But yeah. Anyway, thank you, RJ, for coming on. Great time talking with you about this. I was very excited to talk to you about this.
Oh yeah, anxious.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff is going on, and only more is going to come. But thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Peace out.